So I'm in a special location today. The Rocky Mountains are a place that knows what's up. And we got a sweet little Zen garden. We got a fountain. Hopefully peaceful and not distracting. All kinds of stuff my dad's planted. There was a great big wind chime here. I don't know where it went. I recognize that I feel I've been a bit of a firebrand recently, and I can't help it. I'm not judging that. All of these conversations are with myself. They are truly the conversations that I have inside. And that I see fit to express in this way, maybe just to reinforce them to me. There's been this buildup of tension. I feel like every time I take the chains off, the next time I find them on, they're tighter, right? And I don't feel like anybody agrees with me, except for, the handful of people here, and you don't need to agree with me, certainly. I know I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one who feels what I feel. Who feels like everything, including most spiritual content, is either misunderstood or has been co-opted. It's downright deceitful. And I recognize that the growth for me, the thing that I am learning and understanding, is not it's not a growth of myself. It's a growth into myself. I never needed to be something more. This is the really strong feeling, the recognition. We come forth complete. We come forth whole, perfect, finished. And that sounds like some kind of death sentence. Like, oh no, well, if you're finished, growth can't happen. It's a different kind of growth. Oh, there's a dog here, by the way. This is Annie. Say hi. It's just joyful expansion. It's not. I still lack the language. Okay, she's pretty cute. I don't yet have the language to describe what it is I'm trying to describe. but I think you can feel it. I can feel it. It's a different kind of growth. It's not anything like breaking through limits or, you know, transcendence. It's not transcending anything. What the fuck are we transcending? There's no obstacles. It's a growth in. It's revelation. Revealing, the peeling back. Realizing that everything has already been perfect here. We couldn't make it better. It's always been perfect. It cannot be better. And that is an incredibly wonderful thing. Not a devastating thing. Not a death-creating thing. I've been wrangling. I've been grappling with this voice. Okay, you're licking my foot. That's a little weird. This voice in my head, and I'm sure everyone has it to some degree, because it's all a version of the same voice, right? But this is like the voice of suffering on steroids. This is straight up, you know, I'm sure in other lifetimes I've committed suicide. I've probably done crazy, horrific things to other people. I've certainly done horrific things to myself. I've sacrificed myself. I've you know, bled and suffered on the altar of something that I thought was important. And so this voice is familiar. I'm sure it's worked on me many times. And it wants blood, man. It wants my blood. I'm not trying to like describe it. I'm not saying this is some kind of archetypal entity that craves my annihilation. I'm saying this is the voice. This is what the voice says. This is what this voice wants. I'm not giving it an identity. It's just energy. It is just energy. But I know that I've fed into it. I've agreed to this countless times. And this time, I'm saying, I'm done. I'm really done. Not just, I'm fed up with you, leave me alone, you know, how do I get you off my back, fuck off. Not that. I'm seeing, this is pointless. This does nothing for me. This, you demanding my service, my sacrifice, whatever that is, if it's my own flesh and blood, if it's my body, if you want me to kill myself, you want me to suffer, for what? For what? Because it does nothing for me. And I am going to speak in that language because this is the language that it's using. You want me to suffer for you. You demand that. Why? Because this doesn't make me better. This doesn't make me stronger. This doesn't make me more complete or secure or safe or at peace. This doesn't do anything. This does nothing for me. Nothing can. That's the point. Nothing affects that. Nothing can make me more. Nothing can make me more. Nothing can better me. And I am talking about me, myself, not just this, you know, this form. Hello, little bug. What are you? Sorry, I'm distracted by a very weird little guy. Oh, you're interesting. won't really focus. Anyway, this does nothing. This suffering has no effect. And in saying that and seeing that, and it's happened a handful of times now, it's happened twice in the past 24 hours, because this voice has been just really putting on the pressure, really putting it on. And then, you know, it takes on other turns, like, well, this is just your karma, this is just the suffering that you're here to cleanse, this is just what you have to endure, this is just what you've signed up for, right? This is just what you agreed to. You agreed to this. This was in the contract. I think I took that contract to break that contract. All of this contractual shit. Dog's rolling in the grass back there. It's made up. It's made up. That's not how life works. I feel, I see, I experience strongly. There are two versions, maybe more than two, but two distinct versions of reality. Frameworks. For the way that you think that this exists and that this all works. And one is the karmic version. It literally is the karmic version of reality. It is the version of reality in which karma rules, right? Karma is basically God. This endless chain of cause and effect. Everything affects another thing. You know, butterflies and hurricanes, and we're just constantly trying to outrun, outwit, outlast, survive karma. We're just trying to figure out how to get around it. How do we, you know, how do we behave in a way that karma doesn't come back and bite us? And it's this constant effort. And everything has consequences. And there's morality and virtue, and people get punished and all this shit. And then there's Immaculate Conception. There's the Immaculate Conception version of reality. And I call it that because that is life in this experience. Life just is. Life finds itself being, didn't come from somewhere, doesn't have parents. Okay, there's no parentage, there's no lineage, didn't come from something. Life is not the effect of some cause. It just is. And what is true at the core is true throughout. Everything just is. Life just is. Everything that blooms as a part of life is a distinct miracle. It doesn't have a cause. And without a cause, it doesn't have an effect. It just is. It is for itself, purposeless, joyful, eminently being. And in this version, instead of this chain, this wheel that is constantly turning like this great grinding machine, everything flows around. Everything flows around. And amazingly, beautifully, perfectly, in this experience, you realize that karma isn't needed to tell people how to treat each other. Because when you realize that nothing is affecting you, nothing affects you, everything is free. right? So there is no effect. You're solid, you're complete, you're good. Your security, your well-being, your satisfaction, not in question. Not in question. Comes forth fully formed, intact in your being, intrinsic to your being. And so in this version, you learn you can trust. You can trust yourself. You can trust yourself. You can trust what you desire. Because nothing affects you. And amazingly, logically, when nothing affects you, you don't feel any compulsion to try to affect something else. In fact, you realize that you can't. So whatever happens and whatever feelings come up about it, they don't do anything for you. They don't offer you anything. So they're not tempting the way that they are in this other version. They're not tempting to indulge in. As these realities are sort of still twisting together, and we're experiencing them both, they'll still come up and push on you. And that's what I'm experiencing a fuck ton. They'll come up, they'll push on you. They'll try to convince you that they have a meaning, they have a purpose, and they're enacting that purpose, and that purpose is affecting you. It's changing you. That purpose is to change you, whether you think it's for the better or the worse. You know, that purpose is to make you stronger. Oh, that whole fucking bullshit, though. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. No. 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 What doesn't kill you doesn't kill you. But even if it did, you'd be okay. You're not different either way. Just this whole fucking bullshit notion that like suffering and punishment does something for us, makes us more, makes us better. But it can't, and it doesn't. And when that is directly realized, that's revelation. That's the peeling back of the bullshit to see what's actually always already been here. The perfection of the prime material. You know, we got all this landscaping. We put in lawns. We build concrete slabs. And the weeds push through, and we call them weeds. And we keep trying to cover them up. We're afraid of what's already here. We're afraid of what's naturally here. As if it's not good enough. As if it's not enough. Not enough. It's everything. It's everything. It's everything in there, under the lawn, under the concrete, under the persona, under the spiritual practice or the fitness practice or the business practice, under whatever fucking practice that we think we need to do something to make ourselves better. Nothing is being made better. Nothing is any different. The suffering is unnecessary. It has no effect. It has no effect. And every time that I manage to hold this in awareness, to come back to this, when this energy is on me, it disappears. it steps back. And I have felt insane. The past 24 hours have been uncomfortable, to say the least. Tremendous energy throughout my body, burning, tingling, muscle spasms, feeling like I might throw up at times. And, you know, everything is all the advice is surrender, right? And I'm not saying don't surrender. I'm not telling anybody what to do. But as this is racking me, and as also the negative rumination is there, and just this wave of basically I want to die is just smacking me over and over, and I'm like trying to surrender to this, but it just keeps coming. Something doesn't feel right about that. And then finally it hits me. What am I doing? Am I believing that surrendering to this is going to do something? That this experience is going to do something for me? That it's here for a reason? And that it has a result? What result could that possibly be that isn't already? I already am. I cannot be made better. I cannot be improved. So what am I doing? Why am I doing this? This is certainly not just for the fun of it. I didn't pick this up. I am not engaging in this experience just for the fun of it. There's some sort of unconscious belief here that this is something necessary. That this is helping. That it's important, that it's noble. Oh, it adds to me in some way, or it takes away, it adds to me by taking away the suffering of someone else. No, it doesn't. I have fallen into that lie so many times. I know I have. I know. Nobody has to believe me. I know how many times I've gone to war. I have sacrificed my life, my body, whatever, thinking that it would prevent other people from doing the same, that it would keep them out of harm's way, that it would help, that it was some kind of noble cause that would prevent the suffering of others. It did nothing. It did none of the sort. Not one fucking time. You know what helps prevent people dying in war? Not going to war. Yeah. People not fighting wars. That's what keeps people from dying in them. You know what prevents suffering? Realizing it's pointless. Choosing not to. Choosing not to because it has no goddamn effect. It does nothing. It does not add to you. It does not add to anybody else. It doesn't keep you or anybody else from being subtracted from. That can't happen either. There is no point to suffering, and there is no effect of suffering. That's what I can't stop talking about. That's what I can't stop seeing in my own head. Okay, because all the shit came back. I'm going to be so real. All the shit came back. I was in this place years ago. I had the head trauma. The thoughts were taken from me. I forgot about them. The voices that I had lived with my whole life, they became muffled. They became obscured. I was in peace, but it wasn't by my own choice. And I'm not saying that was a wrong thing. It showed me that was an option. It was an amazing thing. It showed me that that was possible. I had no glimmer even of the possibility of that peace could be chosen, that it could be experienced. I needed that help. That was help. That helped me. It did. But it only takes one experience. And that's what I feel so strongly about all of this stuff. These things that we keep repeating, it only takes one experience. Maybe an experience of suffering is helpful in showing us that suffering is suffering and it sucks and we don't want to do it. And then we go, oh, I don't have to do this thing. And then we don't. And that's it. And it's a one and done. We don't keep coming back to the suffering going, I don't know, maybe there's something there. Maybe there's something there. That's what it wants. That's what it looks. Not all that glimmers is gold, right? That's what it does. It has this shine, this sparkle to it. That's like, ooh, come back. But there's something here that might add to you. Something here, some special treasure that you haven't uncovered. There's something here. Keep coming, keep looking, keep digging through the pile. You'll find it eventually. Just keep at the suffering. Just keep at it. And then you'll create all the stories of why this is good and why it's going to get you somewhere. And, oh, that's how it works. It's temptation. That's the temptation. There's nothing there. It just keeps you coming back because it has the glimmer. But we're waking up. This is what waking up is. This is revelation. I'm not trying to claim that sounds very gatekeepy. That sounds totally gatekeepy. I'm not gonna lie. This is my experience. This is what it means to me. A direct, actual revelation of your own completeness. Your own beingness as life. Just like life. One with life. You're still you. You know, you don't like just disappear into the soup. You're still you. You never had to convert to a energy blob to be you, and aware of the reality of yourself as being. I am that I am. There is a sense of self there. There is a sort of identity there. You know, it's not quite like the identity of persona, no, but it is there. There's a very real, solid, tangible experience of self and being. And being you, being yourself. And so to me, awakening is realizing that it's all always been so fucking good. Like really, truly, it is. There is no karma. There are no chains. Nobody is oppressed. I'm not talking about the surface level. Yeah, at the surface level, there's real discrimination. There's real structural inequality. That's real at the surface level. It has no cause and it has no effect, ultimately. It's the whole realization of no harm, of harmlessness, the harmlessness of all experience and existence. And when it's harmless and also purposeless, so it does nothing for you, then you get to start really picking and choosing what it is you want to experience. At least in here, you know, this stuff is old news. This comes from what's in here. So when you're picking and choosing in here what you like and what you just go, not for me, that trickles out, that ripples outward. But we've been so used to letting the suffering happen in here, and then it happens out there, and it just reinforces, and like, oh yeah, I am supposed to be suffering. I guess I am. I'm just supposed to be miserable all the time. This is my lot. This is my burden in life, is to just be sad. I can't get out of the light. Can you see? I can't escape this light. Life comes through. It comes through the cracks. It finds a way. It flows around. It's not forcing. It's not a force. It doesn't need that. It's presence. It is. It's overjoyed in that reality. The causeless, effectless, utterly free miracle of being. With no parentage, no lineage, no descendant. Everything is totally itself. It didn't come from something else. So we don't need punishment. We don't need penitence. Does nothing. Does nothing. We don't need karma. We don't need cause and effect. We don't need morality. I know that's going to freak people out. But everything is free, and when everything realizes the freedom of itself, the freedom from effect, what cause do you have to affect? It just isn't there. And so you don't. And so everything flows. It comes through. I cannot escape this light. It's amazing. It wants to be here. And then there's none of this nonsense about, building up and evolving and moving forward, progression. No, everything is here. We don't need to move away from here. Everything is here. And when you're just here, everything that's here is allowed to change as it wants to. I don't know that I would necessarily call it evolution. I might use a different word for that, just because that word has this meaning that is tied up with like forward motion. Although there are certainly evolutionary biologists who have an awareness of our tendency to use the word that way and insist that what we call evolution and think of as progress is just diversification. It's just a natural diversification and increase in complexity. It's not improvement. Just heard something slam and I don't know what it was. I'm alone here, other than the dog. It was the dog. She looks guilty. Did you do something? Anyway, the evolution that is the natural increase of diversity, not improvement. And that's what life is engaged in all the time. That is what is naturally occurring all of the time. New is popping up. New varieties. New versions. All the time. But none of them are improved. They're just naturally, complexified. The painting that uses a dozen shapes isn't better than the painting that uses one shape. It's interesting as a painter to start and practice one shape and then learn other shapes and then learn that you can combine them together and build new shapes, that's satisfying. It doesn't make you better. You're not improving your painting. You're just diversifying, complexifying, building on knowledge, sure, but it's not really making something better. It's making it more interesting for you. Cool. That's great. That is amazing. But you know, sometimes it's fun to just paint the lines. And you get to do that too. There are no rules. Everything is free. We are not bound together. This different kind of connectivity where everything flows around. It's a natural, effortless harmonization. Everything being simply what it is harmonizes naturally with the whole. It can't not. It takes effort not to. That's what we've been fucking doing. We have been exerting effort to avoid natural harmonization. And when that effort doesn't pan out and things start to crumble, we go, oh no. Oh no, what's going wrong? Fucking nothing. The disharmony is disappearing. That's what. The delusion, the facade, the shitty stucco plasterboard that you thought was better than the original, you know, centuries old brick. That's washing away. Yeah, that's falling off. Oh no. The true, amazing, original form is being revealed. That is all that's happening. Life is restoring. It's not regression, it's restoration. It is a return to the natural, effortless ease of being that already always was and is and cannot be stopped. Again, without cause, without effect, life just floats. It just is. Without cause, it has no force. It exerts no effort. It is always at rest and yet constantly growing. Not this manic, cancerous growth that is so manifest right now. Natural growth, quiet growth, effortless growth. Look. You see this? Hope you can see it. That wasn't planted there. No human put that there. My dad didn't put that there. Nature is there. It just is. Oh, I think my rant is finished for the moment. We take contracts to break contracts. That's it. I love you. Take it easy.